In today's video, we'll talk about the most exciting yet still tricky part of your job search process when you received a job offer. Stick to the end of this video because I'll walk you through the key things you need to take into account to decide whether it's the right opportunity for you and how you can handle communications with your soon-to-be employer. Hi everyone, it's Anna from CV Labs and we're back talking about how to make your job search process easier and get you hired for that fantastic job you deserve. If you want to make the most out of your career, make sure to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit the bell to be the first to watch my new video every single week. I have so many great videos coming up for you, trust me, you don't want to miss it. So congrats, you received a job offer. What do you do next? Number one, you want to make sure to give a timely reply to the employer. Even if you need some time to think it over, that's okay, but you have to let them know when you're going to get back to them. And of course, make sure to actually stick to that promise. Now it's time to review the terms and conditions of the offer to make sure that you actually understand what's going on. This is a really important stage because you need to look at all of the details mentioned in the offer and read it multiple times if you need to. You can ask somebody else for a second opinion and advice, and if you have any questions at all, prepare a list of questions you're going to ask the HR department or your soon-to-be new boss, because it's always better to ask than to regret not asking later. Now that you understand the offer, it's time to evaluate whether it's actually the right move for you at this stage in your career. Because it doesn't make sense to start negotiations or ask a ton of questions if deep down you know that this is not going to be the right call and this will only get you further away from your actual career goals. So, how do you decide? First, evaluate whether this new opportunity is actually a step up, down, or at the same comparable level to what you already had before. At this point, it's important to consider multiple factors because it's not just about the formal job title, it's also about the size of the company, the industry, your exposure to decision making, and a lot of other things that come into play. Also, consider the breadth of your job duties. And by that, I don't just mean reading the job description, but actually thinking about the things you're going to be doing on a daily basis, what kind of problems you're going to be solving, and how you will be leveraging your skill set and your core strength in the process. Another important thing to consider is company culture. I hear from so many people who disregard this and then regret joining the wrong kind of organization where they cannot really thrive. So when it comes to company culture, it's important to take a real objective look rather than fall for stereotypes. Because a lot of the times people think of big companies and well-known brands and they imagine a certain culture, and then they are completely shocked when they get there and they actually see something completely different. So when it comes to figuring out whether it's the right fit for you and you actually want to join that kind of environment, trust your gut and don't just blindly rely on someone else's opinion or advice or whatever it is that everybody believes about this company. A really good idea is to talk to people who used to work in this organization. So go browse through your network, alumni network, LinkedIn network, social media, and see if you might know someone who has already worked in that organization and can actually tell you what it's like to be part of that environment. And finally, compensation. It's also a really important criteria, and remember that you can negotiate your salary. You won't know whether you're gonna get it or not until you actually ask. It's interesting that actually recent studies show that 70% of managers expect a salary and benefits negotiations, but they will never actually tell you that the offer is flexible. What is interesting is that 46% of men, according to recent studies, do take the risk and negotiate, compared to only 34% of women. So ladies, step up your game, because it's going to be worth it. And why? The same studies show that when you actually counter the initial offer, on average, you're gonna get more than 7% over what was initially offered in the job offer. By the way, do you want to learn to negotiate your salary like a pro? Let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a video on expert salary negotiation tactics. So obviously there are some other perks and benefits besides pay, but at the end of the day, there is one really important thing that so many job seekers forget to consider seriously. How excited are you about taking this offer? Be honest with yourself. By taking this job offer, are you running towards something new, exciting, challenging, or are you simply running away from a really negative and dull situation? Finally, if the job offer has passed all of your criteria and you checked all of the important points off of your list, how do you accept? You want to accept in the same format how they initially made the offer to you. Meaning, if you received a phone call, you give them a call back. If they emailed you, you email them back. Or if they texted you, you accept via text. So, most often it's going to be email. How do you accept your job offer over email? First of all, in your subject line, you want to put your full name - job offer acceptance, so that right away people know what this is going to be about and can see that it's good news. Also, you want to start with your email with saying thank you and showing appreciation to the entire hiring team who took part in the process and not just your soon-to-be boss, because you're going to be collaborating potentially with all of those people and you want to make sure that you show appreciation to them as well. Also, you want to make sure to include your written acceptance. So for formal purposes, you want to actually write out that you accept formally the job offer. And finally, you also want to summarize the key terms and conditions such as your job title and your starting date and things like that, again, to make sure that you and the employer are on the same page 100%. If something is unclear and you want to ask a question at this point, by all means do it. Just keep in mind that the employer needs to know that you are committed. So when you're asking a follow-up question, include some language to reinforce your excitement and motivation for the position. So you might be thinking that this is not the right time to be discussing choosing between multiple offers and figuring out whether it's the right one to accept because, well, things have not been going so well in a lot of countries and the economy is really down right now. Well, I can tell you that some of my clients have recently been choosing and picking from multiple job offers, so that opportunity is still there. But you want to make sure that it all starts with a well-written, well-crafted resume and a smart, proactive networking strategy. So I'm going to link 2 videos in the description below with some awesome tips to revive your resume in 2020 and to learn to network like a pro online using LinkedIn. If you have any questions, start typing in the comments below, and also let me know in the comments if you've ever been in a position where you had to choose between multiple job offers and what helped you finally come up with a decision. Thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit thumbs up. If you loved it, subscribe to my channel and I'll see you again soon.